Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Zunbil series of Crusader Kings 3 here on the Lord Master channel. This ever-expanding Hephthalite Kingdom has now expanded into the Punjab, in which we were able to take all of Punjab. Although it took us a while, but trust us, it took us a while. But now presents a new challenge. We will be in a period of resting because we have been fighting for too long on offensive wars, in which this will be a period of rest before we will return to the offensive, which will definitely happen in the next episode, when we go into the lands of the Sogdians and the Sogdi Khorasan up there. Basically all of Transoxiana is what's left for the last major goal of this series, and that's to form the former Hephthalite Empire, which would have to include all this, but however, one left out. It's the old Tengrists. Yeah, Nazarabat. So that means in future we would have to fight 1, possibly 2, 3, 4 more wars. And since this is a smaller entity, I can only hope. I mean, look, they're all in this together, so when those future wars come, then it's going to be a tough fight, and hopefully we will win it. But let's not think about war right now, as much as we got to keep the realm stable, as the Independence faction is at it again. I know what you want. You want Nandana, which is currently held. Well, you're currently in prison, but let us not worry. You get to have it. So hopefully you'll be good about that. Since you got what you wanted, so this will no doubt back out of the Independence faction, as our Seljuk vassal, keeps on expanding. And I thought of another way to try to prevent this, and this is something I do not typically do. I was about to do the established alliance, but I saw the concubines option. I know I've been imprisoning a lot of people, and I'm sure many of them women. So how about I offer you a concubine that is either a courtier that I don't find useful, or for one of my prisons. One of my prisons. Attracted to, huh? How much infinity would that increase? 30. Okay, that's a better option. Even though this is just a courtier who I do not know of, nor I give a care. So, here you go. You just have to wait for it to be accepted. He'll like me so much that he will have no choice but to back out of the Independence faction. That's the solution! Concubines for everybody! Calm down. And here's another thing. Since we've won the recent war in Punjab, there's a lot of land that I need to distribute. Especially the big duchy of Lahore, which I'll usurp one day. But not now, but definitely gotta mix things up. So let's actually skip a day. Okay? And look at tax jurisdictions and more taxpayers now. And some of you aren't even clan. What are you doing all the way up there? I own this land? Or is that one of the smaller entities? Am I crazy? Look again. You're traveling to your source of... What the are you doing up there? That'll take you years to get there. What are you doing all the way up in Siberia for? You up there. You are down in the South Central India. You'll get there. You're a well-traveled man and a hunter, so he can handle himself. I guess that means there's a whole nother taxpayer I gotta put. My daughter, who is going to be the heir to the Shah of Mughalistan, you get to be that tax collector. You can help out here. Now. I recall there's a land somewhere. Where is, oh, what's that place called? Jhelum. Home of the salt mining settlement. Even though he gets some money, but, a tax coming from that's gonna go to you. I would probably like to hold personal control over, Gujarata, because it's a rich land here. Although development is much higher over there, as Lahore was the capital of Punjab. Let's tell you, we'll split it in half. Give it to the local nobles, who is of our faith, obviously. You'll have this. And of course, that means it's going to be a whole nother taxpayers to come. And you hold this. In fact, you have Jammu too. Oh, I would have loved to hold both in. Yeah, Showkeep. But this is farmland. It's also got a trade port because it's next to a major river, Chenab. Look, I consider that as the big prize. But there will come a time that those titles will be distributed by one of my heirs. Because I believe it is the Hephthalite Kingdom, Compatibility, Punjab, yeah. Atasura will get Punjab. And in future, when we expand towards Transoxiana, then Devraz here will likely be the heir to Transoxiana. That I can imagine. Whenever we really get to the time to form the Hephthalite Empire. Just trying to think. Like, what if I just grant you Lahore? And I will get to keep the one that gives out the most tax because it's home of that salt mining settlement. It's much because I like gaining more income through mining settlements, even if I don't hold the direct city for that. But the issue is landing one of your children who has a claim to the town is going to inspire factionalism and to say, hey, I want that. So, you ought to be careful with this. But he's a just man. I don't think he'll do anything despite the fact that he's rather vengeful. So, very bold and very honorable. Do it. I'll keep this for myself. Plus, there's more control there. So get to work on that. And that's 3 taxpayers. I'm just looking. In case they get a little mad at you, when you look at the taxpayers, we can make some adjustments. There. How do you like me now? Are you willing to back out of the faction? I give you such a high opinion on that. Here's another one to watch out for. One who's stubborn and brave. But don't worry, I'll back out because that one's the biggest backer. You are just a little entity. Oh yes. Out of the faction. My plan worked. I don't suppose I can usurp your tower while you're at war. Because I could have used that money for something. So you're on the offensive, trying to stay relevant. Well, here's another way to try to improve relations with everybody here. A what festival? A sacrifice for Zun. What the heck? Is it because I live in an area where... Oh, I think I know. This one area that I hold, that's the home of Kapalika Shaivism. What is that to you people? Look. Kapalika Shaivites are a sect of ascetics who revere Shiva's fierce power form, that seek to emulate his behavior and characteristics through transgressive rituals such as human sacrifice, indulgence in alcohol and meat, and orgasmic sexuality. So these tenets are, carnal exaltation, hedonistic, and gruesome festivals. So I'm allowed to hold his sacrifices. I live in an area, I control an area where there is a home of these, of that particular sect of Hinduism that you don't often hear about. Adultery is accepted, kid slaying is accepted, witchcraft is accepted, alcoholism is virtuous. Even deviancy is virtuous. No bastards. You see, eager revelry, drunkard, and even deviant is a virtue, as is lustful gluttonous. Who are these people? But nevertheless, because, you know, with Eastern syncretism, we view them as stray, they view us as stray. But that costs a lot of money in prestige. So again, it depends on the scale, and you selected what to sacrifice, even if you choose one of your prisoners. Gaining or losing popular opinion and credit depends on the tenets of your subjects' faith. Look, let me have a look at it. I mean, obviously it can only be performed in the one area where it can be held. Look, I'm just having a look at it because I'm like, what the hell? Opinion changes. Sacrifice animals. Animals majestic, human, majestic, but keep in mind. Opinion of public gain with Zunus will be as high. It can be. Subjects that do not endorse human sacrifice lose opinion from major piety loss. I mean, because obviously we would be losing piety because we're doing something that goes against our religion. And you may designate a chief sacrifice among your prisoners. Again, I'm not actually performing, I'm just looking at it. What the heck? Now look, we're the kind that makes offerings, not sacrifices. What I was going to do was to host a banquet, and maybe perhaps hold the Chinir festival for the first time, if the time of the year is right. Now we can't host another event until 20 months, so that's good. We prefer sacrificing goats rather than human lives. So we may have to do that in the future. We'll keep that in mind. Sada is always good for a bit of popular opinion increase. I mean, look, it's November. It is that time of the year. Plus, Sada is cheaper than the feast. Should be a grand celebration. Yeah. So it should be a spectacle. And everybody's invited if they got the time. Oh! Again, it doesn't cost too much. So, let's hold this festival, Sade, because it is that time of the year. Oh, thank you very much. You know, you should start developing bulk. Because knowing that this is our capital might as well make it very important here. Winter has returned, and there is a chill in the air. This year we wish to celebrate the great Sada festival, as our predecessors in Iran have done for generations upon generations. On the coldest day of the year, 50 days before Nowruz, we will thus observe Sada and lighting up bonfires. Start preparing this year's celebrations. It is almost the night of the Sada festival. Though it may be the coldest time of the year, we will find warmth in each other and warmth in the fires we make. Across the Iranian world, bonfires are being lit up in every town and village near and far. You may find joining each other's who want for the return of spring. I'm glad it's finally here. Let's begin. As I stand near the fire, I reflect how Sada is usually about 50 days before Nowruz. And the new year, can't wait for the new year to begin. Of course, it seems so far away. The night is cold, who knows what the next springtime will bring. I huddle closer to the fire. During Sadeh, it is customary that we give food to the less fortunate in the evening before the bonfires are lit. Of course, I did such things to help those who are needy and hungry this year. We make very good income, so I was very generous, giving out a lot of food. Plus, I'm about to be closer towards Paragon of Virtue. As the coldest night of the winter, Sada has often inspired many people to compose poems to describe the glory of fire. I've just listened to 3 commoners recite their Sada-inspired poetry. One poem compares the bonfire to an exquisite flower or tree, or an entire garden blossoming in a winter landscape. The second poem describes the occasion as a conflict between the forces of Zund and darkness. The last poem retells the origins of Sada as celebrations of how the mythological Iranian heroes of ancient times, like Rustam, who slew fearsome monsters like dragons. Which one do I think is the best? How about the pious poem about good versus evil? Just needed that +1 diplomacy. Because every little bit helps of diplomacy and increased opinion and travel safety. And with that, Sada comes to a close. Everyone had a great time, and the bonfires we lit all over certainly helped everybody keep warm in this coldest time of the year. Sooner than later, springtime will be upon us. Alas, such an occasion only comes once a year, so we must wrap things up for now. Until then, however, I look forward to the next Sada. Keep an eye on their war. Again, all you need to do is wait for the offensive opinion to go down drastically, so that every vassal's opinion will be a lot higher. As of course depends on you. It all depends on you. Again, that's for defensive wars. That would be useful if anybody tries to attack Wakan here. Small minority of Turco-Hephtalites. Oh, I'd like to make some changes to that, but obviously you're gonna have to promote culture, but I care more about development at this time. There goes my fox. else do I have to sway? You. You're gonna be a big problem. As you're in the middle of a war. Wait for it. Finger bones of a Shah. Peddler to the cloak of dozens of bottles and knickknacks on them till it rattles up to me. I have a magnificent psalter, an illuminated manuscript of sculpted ivory cover adorned with turquoise beads. It contains tales of a man and woman in love. The carving is said to impress Benebshan Madita, so she would never and think to lie with another. How about you sell your lies elsewhere? I was about to say, what's her excuse? Nali wants to be on a council, but also offensive war, obviously. I'll consider if she becomes a plotter. That's strange since this comes to me again all of a sudden. I feel as if someone just said flattery about me. Let's try to get to know each other a little bit better. And a reason why develop our capital? Because average development of Turco-Hephthalite counties is awfully low, so you better increase that. And there's also a good reason for timing of why bailiffs. In a good lord, in who knows how many years, we're going to have more vassals and there's not going to be enough taxpayers to go around. Unless we form the Empire title. I'm still feeling fine. Get rid of 250 due to the realm assistant and we become neighbors. Maybe perhaps he'll be convinced that we'll bring him in without having to fight against him. That gave me a thought. Like to say, hey, would you like to propose an alliance? Or even pay a visit to your realm, which would be another good reason to try to improve relations. That's another good idea. Why don't I just travel over there? Yeah, that's it. And while you're at it, learn a few things. I mean, damn, I used to love to travel. But the thing is that that we gotta get the Silk Road merchants with us for a time like that. Wait, what time is it? Regarding, like, what's the time of the year? An alliance with Sardaria. Well, that may come useful, but not now. Yeah, that's the idea. Improve relations as you travel. So that way, despite the fact that you're a lunatic, when we meet, then we'll become, you'll become a vassal of mine in the future. While we deal with that man in the future. In the future war. But let's host a Chenier festival for the first time in this series. So, what is the Chinir Festival? So here's for historical context. The Chinir is a traditional festival of the Vaki people that celebrates the start of the harvest. The Vaki, farmers and pastoralists dwelling mainly in the Wakhan corridor, are one of the several groups who speak an Eastern Iranian language in the Pamir region. So some of the Iranian-speaking peoples of the Pamirs have long celebrated a harvest festival called the Chinir Festival. We should rejoice in a bountiful harvest, after all. It's just prestige, piety, two good things. So it has to be held between July and October. And you have to hold at least one of the titles that's up in the Pamirs region, and as well as being of the Arya cultural pillar. You can hold it in the capital. So, prestige. Forage. As Rudy signs, am I not obligated to provide those under me? We will prepare a massive amount of the finest porridge and other fine foods to give all during the Chinir festival. Yes. I wish to focus on my duties towards the community, ensuring the harvest goes smoothly and that social bonds are enforced. That capital will gain the success of Chinir Festival, so this helps a bit more development growth and popular opinion up, just to prevent a potential peasant revolt in our capital. If anybody's got time, you're all invited. Again, it's something we do not typically do in this series because since I have personal control over the Pamir region. And our mercenary ban has just expired. The Chinir Festival is a festival traditionally celebrated by many peoples living in the rugged mountainous regions of the Pamirs to welcome the start of the harvesting season. It is a festival where social interaction and a sharing of food and good cheer is encouraged. The day of the festival will soon be upon us, and I have decided to meet the commoners and contribute to the festivities for this year. It's almost harvesting season. The Chinir Festival has just begun. I have arrived at the local town to take part in the celebrations. Chinir is a joyous occasion. It marks the end of the so-called months of hunger, when locals have to ration limited stores of food before the harvest, so everyone can eat and be merry. We'll have to do a lot of eating and merry when we hold a feast ourselves, just to improve relations with my vassals further, before even thinking about going back on the offensive in the wars. Take this gold. As the head of my household, I go out into the fields and take a small bit of the harvested barley and take it to the local mill to be turned into flour. I then ritually shake this flour onto the pillars of my house and tie what remains of the barley to the pillar of the chikish, or the kitchen. Afterwards, I and my entire household gather around a bowl, the eponymous Chinir itself, which is filled with yogurt. We bow our heads and say Zunist prayers to Zun. Following this, everyone eats a bit of the yogurt. A good beginning. Again, this is the first time I've ever done this. I've never done it in my playthroughs where I'm not recording, so this is first time ever for me. The next part of the Chinir is a big gathering among those of my gender. As a man, I meet with several others of the same gender from the community, ranging from prominent nobles to the lowliest of peasants, inside a large meeting hall to partake in a great feast. The food smells good. Though I'm enjoying the Chinir feast, not everyone can come. Those who are too old and feeble or are ill often cannot be present for obvious reasons. Therefore, it is customary for some people to volunteer to bring food to the elderly and those who are sick during the feast. It could be an arduous thing, though. I fear if I help, I might catch someone's illness. I will volunteer. I need to set an example. I didn't catch no illness. Hey, that could become useful for, you know, plague resistance or reduction along the health penalty or whatever for that upcoming DLC, which, by the way, I recorded this video a day before the release of Legends of the Dead. Now, anyways, after the Chenier feast, it is customary for a man like myself to visit those of the same gender in the community, to share our food and partake in some of the yogurt from each house's Chenier bowl. I've already visited several households and have time to visit one more. I decided to visit the household of a... let's see. Oh, take your pick. I recently became Paragon of Virtues, so you got that going. Powerful local nobleman, just to gain the most amount of prestige and fame. At the end of the Chenier Festival, it is customary to symbolically assist in the harvesting of crops, even if one isn't a farmer. After all, it is important that everyone shows their real bonds with the community. Even I, a Shah, should partake in this. It isn't like we're going to do real farm work anyways. That prestige that you just gained? Well, you lost some. Well, I want to help as much as I can for the day. It's quite a trade-off. During the first batch of the harvesting done at the Chenier Festival, everyone, even children, participates in the cutting of the grain crops. There are clear rules to be observed. Men use small scythes called thuder, is how you pronounce it, to cut the grain, while the women tie the grain stalks into bundles ready for threshing. I'll spend a couple of hours doing this before returning to the festivities. As a man, it is my duty to help cut the grain. As part of the harvest, women and children go to the orchards and gather baskets full of fruits. I observe some as they do this. Plump apricots and mulberries seem especially popular, and this is a more relaxed part of the harvest, where women and children take their time to socialize. I'll observe and enjoy the scenery. At last, the Chenier Festival is over. I had a good time. Got to share food, have some pleasant discussions, and make some happy memories with others who attended. Hopefully, I'll be able to do this again in the future. This is definitely good harvesting season. I like this whole chain of events here for this activity. Gain some prestige and some piety for it. And helping with the development growth here a bit. As I said, this will be a prominent capital one day. Now, I kind of want to make a quick visit. You know, the whole visit nearby realm idea. Get me to Silk Road merchants. We also have this option, but that's for state travel. Because we have control of the Indus. Actually, no, maybe it's due to because of the Caspian. You own a county in the Maritime Silk Road, and own a county in India. That's another factor. Right. I get it now. So let's customize the route a bit. After you spend your time in Zerashan, travel to Samarkand, and make a little quick detour to Bahara, and then be back home. It'll cost you some gold. It's just me and my caravan master, which you're doing poor. Stick with me, and you'll be alright. The Celestian man is the Silk Road merchant. And of course, my usual part of the entourage, and that's the physician, but no bodyguards. After a long day of travel, the horizon starts to bleed to the warm colors. I take a moment to pause, close my eyes. Careful! My caravan leader, Silk Devaman, screams, pointing at the dryads beyond the pathway. What looks like a small rodent running into the wild. After it, a brown figure I easily recognize. Yipe! Quick! Everyone after it! It doesn't take much to track the growling and broken twigs of the origin. Since our leaf litter, licking the brown paws and blood of a victim. The squirrel's almost unrecognizable, right next to it. Ah, I know you'd be successful. Well done. Hey, where are you going, son? Get over here. I don't want you to wander off somewhere. Oh, region replacement. That's what happened. Now, as we managed to get through the dangerous path of Bassad, decided to rest for the night, walk around the cabin, suddenly strange feelings someone's missing bothers me. I ask around, everyone agrees on one thing. They don't remember seeing Spitamanad all day. He was keeping the rear guard as we entered the war-torn province. I suppose it wasn't the best idea knowing his bravado. He's probably gunning for the front lines. Unless he's just lost somewhere in the drylands. Oh, so that's what happened. Let's mount a search party for him. We found him and brought him back. Birds of prey circle overhead, casting on him as shadows on the sun-beaten landscape. As I ascend the slope of the looming hill, the stench of the spoiling meat dominates my senses. I see bodies laid out orderly on the rocks, vultures and falcons pull at the meat, stringy bloody chunks dangle from their beaks. A man in simple garb oversees the sky barrel, he addresses me. Please, take your leave, Shah. This place is only for the Crusader. Find me the youngest falcon. I'll train it for a better use. Stupid idea, but just want to do something. As my party pushes through the sudden storm, I see a group of armed magi walking in the opposite direction. They carry a pelican of razor of dying embers between them. The wind and rain are lashing as the holy flames, risky snuffling them out. Though the hands hover wearily over their weapons, the priest calls out to us, hoping that we might help shelter these sacred embers. I wonder if this place has Zoroastrians there. Kurmazda in particular. But what do they view us? We view them as astray, but they consider us hostile. You can shelter with us. If we could protect the pilgrims, they will show their gratitude. Spend some piety on it. 70% chance that the embers survived the storm and earned the gratitude of the Magi. Or 30% chance that the fire snuffed out. It got snuffed out. Sorry. I arrived at Zerafshan. My host Ixwana Akushfan of Oshasana. Just wondering what I plan to do while we're here. Be careful with the wounded part. This is probably the only way to gain all this, but that would take an eternity and a half to get up there to continue with the health boost thing. So, I mean, there's other ways to improve relations, but I've come here to, since I have a habit of going out and leading armies, although I'm not as good as I used to, but let's learn how these people fight. 61% chance I learn a new tactic from them, 30% chance I get frustrated. And I got frustrated for this. I've set my mind to train the falcons I found at the Sky Burial site. To that end, we gather on the field with a small entourage, including with my courtier and Silk Road merchant, who is at the ready with the captive here. The hooded young bird waits expectantly on my gloved hand. It releases the prey, bolts through the open field. I remove the falcon's hood and quickly takes flight. But instead of diving for the prey, it swoops for his head. Before it can be pulled away, the falcon bites and claws at him, leaving bloody ashes. Oh, hell. Again, I can't hunt, so... I can nurture these tendencies. So now you have an aggressive falcon. Every little bit helps. Oh, they're dealing with raiders. Offensive Wars 34, not 44 as it was since the start of the video. These things will take time, as I'm spending most of my time up here. I mean, I could go home whenever I want, but I'm actually waiting for the pop-up event to tell me, okay, you can leave now, and we'll continue on our way. I think we should go home right now, because I do recall we should have enough times passed, I should say, that we should do a grand tour. Go visit your unruly vassals. My wife spent a significant amount of time traveling in the realm of Veronica. There are many matters she could settle on my behalf, and the military presence of Benepshin Madita brings of her as a firm reminder of my right to rule. How's your health, by the way? Still fine. My Benepshin and I stand ready in defense of the realm. Seems our caravan became a little lost in these foreigns. Selective armies would trail around Samarkand for hours. Though his eyes swallowed his pride and asked for direction, he does not appear to be an expert Sogdian speaker. Fortunately, I am fluent in Sog, so we'll jump ahead of time. Just a bit of road. Truly, a stroll through the Busia is a gift from Zun. A tranquility places is suddenly and abruptly broken by the fierce grunts and clattering armor. Ugh! Get me out of this metal prison. My squire took offense at my manner. He was going as far as to call me heartless and has abandoned me. Whatever this strange man did could not have been enough to justify being stuck forever in his armor. I could, of course, have someone help him, but is it truly worth it? Well, I'll consider the armor gone for the price. Not going to use that hook on you, just wanted to get the money off of you. Still feeling fine. My sat trap just found herself a bit of trouble. Dita, just smiles tired because he's made sure the situation resolves itself, and she is his benefactor. Get a weak hook on her. Excellent work. What am I going to do with that? Good question. They're all sticking together. Try to obtain me gold. Thanks, Zone. I can go inside again. "51 days. Wait for it. That's good enough. Here it is. Do another grand taxation tour. This time we go around the mountains and then down the Punjab. I mean, we can't visit every vessel though. Screw it, spend a fortune. And plus, it's pretty dangerous out there. So I may want to change paths here. Okay, let's see. So once you're at Ally, you take a small detour towards Srinagar, home of the university. And then to Lahore, Jannah. And then once you're down in Multan, this one's going to be unusual. We go up there, and then up, and then up. We take a turn around and we go over there. Yes, that will do. So there'll be some justice here. I'm bringing every damn body I know of, including my children, which hopefully they'll gain the traveler's thing. And as long as nothing goes wrong, I'm going to shut up Batian. White Croats, I believe. Chorbatin. Yeah, you're correct. It's where they come from. And with the large amount of money that you'll be gaining, we're gonna invest in the Essaouira expansion, so that way they'll be more effective when we fight in those lands. Brook. Torn the grounds. So I think the vassals will play nice. And keep in mind, if you got male vassals, be sure to give them a free concubine from my prisons. Now, with my hunting bow at my side, a member of my party alerts me to the presence of a stag just below an embankment near our location. Standing at the edge of the cliff, I should be able to pierce its heart. For a skilled hunter such as I, it should be easy, but not without risk. The ground appears a little unsteady, but with careful footing, I should be able to slay the beast without issue. Well, this should be easy. 100% chance of success that I will gain prestige, and 60 renown. My footing proves true, and my aim ever truer. As I fell, the beast was single arrow without so much as stumbling over the precarious. The hunting party seems impressed. The ground's filled with applause with my fellows. My host, Arash of Kang, personally comes to congratulate me on my kill. With that biz concluded, I throw my kill with a rest and continue to tour the grounds. Anything to get us closer to the final dynasty legacy. Not to mention, great way to pass the time before we will return to offensive wars against, Transoxian. I find myself curious to see how the lowlifes of Kotal live, so I pay a visit to an establishment where the locals seem growing quite rowdy. One man stands atop the table, commanding the attention of everyone who nears him. What are we in need of an extra on anyway? Arash fills up on the chief hesitant and expects us to keep quiet. Yet he expects our undying loyalty. The entire building erupts to thumping and applause. Clearly, my extra on it. It's not popular in his own home. Do not speak ill to the Exona. How about you? 99% chance of success. Get his control level up, and Ash becomes my friend. I don't often make friends, which is one of my flaws. Defended in honor. During the tour of the Otak of Paga, I'm locked in the conversation with my friend Ikshwan Arash about the importance of information and deception when he's outnumbered by one of his courtiers. The man is not allowed to speak for long before his silence by his leader, but the wisdom is able to dispense immediately. It proves he knows far more about the subject than Ikshwan Arash Chef Kang could ever dream of knowing. If Ikshwan Arash is unwilling to listen to his insight, perhaps he would be willing to join my court instead. Are you talking about this? Wow. Listen, friend. Join me at court. Thank you very much. Paid tribute, which he gave in. Wandering the countryside of Kotal, I happened to cross what seems to be the gathering of peasants in a small hamlet. Coveted by their proud owners, plump and healthy livestock graze, looking good enough to take a bite out of as right as they are. The peasants occasionally bring their goods to be judged, analyzing their size and health. They seem to be holding some sort of festival. The As soon as I've noticed, they're eager to show me the fruits of their labor. We should survey these signs. Tax day rich local as we'll be on our way up. Well, that was long overdue. I'm 61 years old and I'm feeling fine. I have to be very, very mindful about this. I mean, once I get Iron Constitution, that disease resistance will help give me a huge boost, and that will definitely prolong me. Anyways. 50-50. Let's gamble. Hanging. Oh, no, not again. He's been assassinated. And Ahmet is the heir. And that makes the mother the heir, who is a Pamiri. Still got the special soldiers. Well, I guess there is a room for you. And it's a pretty good jump that I think you'll manage. Alright, dinner. Hopefully you can improve relations between us two. Yeah, bracelet's one of the good ones. Yeah. Think. That one's already in display, you dummy. Let's increase the size right now. All the way. Because we can afford it. Iron Constitution. Again, only countering penalties, so... Obviously, infirm is a health trait, but it's not a disease, so to speak. So, say, if I got ill, and I will be much, much healthier than ever before, if that were to ever occur. Hell, I could even survive the bubonic plague if there was ever one. And it appears I still got it. Time for tribute. Another dinner's prepared for me during my stay. It looks to be a real winner. I salivate just to look at the suck of the steamy dish and rise about to take my first bite. An irritatingly familiar voice pierced my eardrums. My rival both arrived to spoil my appetite. His mere presence bringing my blood to boil. Sada Jahan of Quran offered to remove this troublesome sycophant, but I sense he has an ulterior motive. Is this anything? Damn you. You callous fool. I am reminded. Hang on. It's gonna take a while for me to get there. You and I are gonna have issues. But the offensive order is really going down. Oh dear. Oh, that's just some courtier. I don't really care about this one. Just fell off the mountain. A commoner of Punjab called Heritage has been accosted in the streets of Balkh over some minor offense. By making a statement in their defense, I could perhaps convince my marshal, Budivati Veda, the Ekole Punjabi, of my good character, but I might risk alienating my Turco-Hephthalite peers. Oh no, the Panjane are the good people. And she lost her leg recently, I see. They've lost one of their allies' wars, but look at who you're up against. Negotiate alliance. Ah. Any highborn women. Here's a young one. She seems to like me pretty much. Despite what you think of me. Town Basin looks divided than ever. I guess they're not as prominent as they once was. This is the cultural festival here. Streets are hanging with tapestries. Ah, the smell of freshly cooked air. All the way eyes shine stirring this time of the year. A bonfire has been lit in the center of town to celebrate the victory of the brightest stars, ascending heaven into heaven above. Amid the reveling and drinking of Salma, one of the locals starts a song that all join into. Summer's arrived. Loudly sing, seagull. The seed is growing, the meadow is booming. Sing, pigeon. Time to drink the violet shaba and eat here. Come on. Thank you. Now I go visit this Lulu university, because there's a couple of landmarks I want to, visit. Down in the Indus Valley region. I've seen the world and beheld its many wonders in my travels, but never have I beheld such beauties such as the ones I've seen in Gujarat. Truly, Punjabi women are cut of all the rest. One particularly fascinating specimen that's taken my eye is like a peasant woman by the name of Kishan. A pretty little songbird. It is too far pleasing in my eye to spend a day slaving away here. Oh no, I'm a chaste man. I can't be doing that. Not to mention you're one of those Catholics, which you're into this sort of thing. So, yeah. Don't do that to your own place. We've stayed on the road slightly too long and the sun is starting to dip below the horizon. Out of the surrounding terrain, shapes start to merge and form into an angry-looking armed figures. This air road isn't whole. Pay up, says the biggest and frankly ugliest of the bunch. My courtier sucked the bomb and steps forward, weapon raised, looks to me for direction. Tolls are for peasants, and I am a shah. Torn grounds of Lahore, home of Soda, which I told him that one day you will rule Punjab. And this is a way for you to get started. So just come to see us, son. Because one day I will be your overlord. As I continue to tour the grounds of the Arg of Lahore, I hear unfamiliar voices all around us. Suddenly I find my entire party surrounded by women in hoods, pointing knives and bows directly at me. What are they? Assassins towards me, pressed their knife under my side. Happy hunting, my lord? We've come hunting shahs. Though at first I am at first startled, it quickly becomes good as just an act. The assassin gives me a wink and observes that their weapons made entirely of wood and dull on all sides. They expected to play along and foil the attempt on my life. How about you, boy? 63, and I'm fine. Each passing December 6th, I'm gonna have to look at my health because I am very, very wary about me dying of old age before the major goal is accomplished. I don't know if you have much to give, but please give. Thank you. Lahore's very valuable land, so you'll be getting plenty of money, no doubt. Cultural festival here. Yep, fully reinforced now. What else I could spend my money on? Some of the estates of the realm, of course. Maybe that can help it. As well as invite a couple of knights. Look for some good fighting men. You'll do. I follow Visayavati Uttara as she shows me the way around the festival. And now, she announces, as we enter the castle grounds, what I expect to be a pleasant surprise. I raise my brows when we find a marvelous fountain, all in white stone, with a silver pipe and copiously running with clear mead. Some people gather around it, laughing and throwing coins into the well. It would be a waste not to make a wish. She just gave birth. Congratulations. You have a daughter. They call you the Sly Weasel. The afternoon is quickly advanced to nightfall as we enter the local farm estates of Kasua. The estate owner, Allah, greets us warmly and promises to host the lavish feast for us. Once the feast starts, we dine on the veritable menagerie of roast animals, stews, soups, bread, and the like. In the morning, Allah approaches me as I enjoy my breakfast. My lord, hosting such an extravagant shindig as yesterday can be expensive. Huh. Well, just let me compensate you. Just want to keep my son on my side. Ditch! Okay, we are now here. The 76-year-old woman who is very healthy for yet another cultural festival. We got it. I was able to lead the work of these states to Rome in the most professional and aligned way. Several important policies were implemented. A general feeling of cooperation was forged, and in the end I was able to impress everyone with my leadership skills. Now it's time to turn to the reality of what was planned. So, there you go. Of all places I hold, more development. Especially here in Balk. Faction disband. I've enjoyed the festivities of the Palbud today. I'm not near as much as my son Devraz. Devraz, who is the dwarf, who is an aspiring fighter. He's been dancing and spinning with locals with jubilation and vigor that I've never seen from him before. Fully immersed in the alien traditions of Punjabi culture. Seems completely at home, and the locals seem to adore him. Adore him too. How nice, I say. Don't want to give him a chance to switch cultures because he's not inheriting a county that gives him that culture. I wouldn't mind if the one who holds in Lahore becomes Punjabi instead of Turco-Hephthalite, as we do not have a presence there. And I'm not spreading that culture over there. Development here is the priority. Kurgo, man, what have you done? You damn fool. 1 second. Achoo! That's me. The music in the main stage is promptly followed by the dancers. The beauty of their movements makes them look like part of the stage, and they throw their hands in the air. It feels like watching trees grow new branches. The gas comes from the audience, and one of the dancers starts climbing the wooden wall on the stage. And now, he says, I shall take revenge from... Ah! As the horns falls to the ground, the sounds ground lets everyone hear a clear crack. Bring a physician immediately. Time for tribute. You refused. I'll get you for this. And nobody's home in Multan, which is, to be fair, it's undergoing a vassalage civil war. So we'll skip over. But in the meantime, oh damn it, this view. The procession is ground to a halt a stone's throw away from the Babud. I look over to see my grand diviners, they rush. I dismounted and intently staring at the ground. The other entourage members have gathered around me. Looks up as I approach. My lord, there is an ant path here. I may be a tad superstitious, but you should never cross an ant path. My great-grandmother did. She never returned home. This is nonsense. I'll take over as guide. We got lost. You eat it. So we'll bypass here, and then we'll enter this temple, which is one of the Zunist holy sites, which will give me more learning lifestyle experience. Got through here. Over here. Pretty good. And my daughter Nana. Who did you... Is bastards a thing in this? No, they have to be the Germans. Okay, there is a bastard child. Oh, that's an issue. Not to mention, you're the one that's gonna be taking Kabulistan. A gift of entertainers! An envoy's arrived from Exrana today, accompanied by a large entourage. It turns out he wishes to gift me a large troop of skilled entertainers and slaves from Paga. These include musicians, dancers, acrobats, and even beautiful slaves and courtesans. Gifts of skilled people are common across the prosperous lands of Eurasia and the so-called Silk Road, as they demonstrate their wealth, status, and authority like Exrana. I am, of course, flattered by such a gift, and these entertainers will become a valued part of my court, ready to provide entertainment to my courtiers and guests at a moment's notice. A great Shah like myself deserves such a gift. Now I have these exotic Silk Road entertainers. He did this because of his culture. He has the people of the Silk Road cultural tradition as he Sogdian, so he's allowed to do that. We do not have that ability. And also kind of got me to thinking. Did you hear yourself say that? Got yourself to thinking? Anyways, we still got plenty of travel to go. But in the meantime, I'm sure you'll find yourself a spouse one day, but that good job title. Give me it. And I'm gonna give it to my son, as you know, he's the one that's to, you know, hold it. With the exception of this. And someone had an independence faction. That was definitely one of you. So that will not be an issue anymore. More power to you. And taxes. Especially taxes. Because we want to reduce the number of taxpayers. And you are the only one. So now I have a 2% chance of getting the Silk Road merchant trade since I've done 10 successful trades. Keep it up. My procession continues to go down our planned route to Zemindavar when we come to abrupt stop on Sektavar's kind. Stop, you fools! It is said that this road is infested with bandits and scoundrels of low character. We must divert. The route he proposes it's longer, but it assures me that it is safer. Oh, hell. Well, let's take the safe route then. Tolls are for peasants. We're good to go visit the Sultan settlement in Jhelum, and then we turn around and go back into outlaw country. Oh hell, you're going to an area that's under siege. Be careful. Both successes. So much money I have no idea what to do with. Didn't see you there. And I probably missed one other guest. There you are. Gotta do something with this. As long as I hold this, these staples are going to give me small benefits. So money's going to go somewhere. And even have enough money to start giving gifts, including with my new concubine. Here. That'll make you a bit happy with me. I'm sure your health's poor by now. Oh, she is. I'm gonna miss you when you pass. You've been good to me. Yeah, sure. Leave it though. This I could spend. I do not have regalia, so that would be nice to get one for once. Now I lost my weasel. Robust is strong. You're super strong. Who the heck are you? Bedrish Koretsko. So a Bavarian Slovene. Or Cartanian, if you want to be specific on terms. Touring the grounds here. Doing fine. Oh, this again. My nephew, Narendra Dicha, decided today to show me his barracks. Line upon line of line infantry stands tended in their armor, ready for my expansion. These are fine soldiers, but it seems a waste to have them idle all day. Oh hell. Perhaps they could be managed more efficiently. 65% chance of success, and I'll gain some gold. Form a closer friendship with him, and he'll have efficient management. 34% chance that we screw it up, and he may not like me as much. And it didn't work. Find other ways to impress whom I want. Quite possibly the most prosperous grand tour we've ever done. Paid tribute. My ride through the grounds of Argosman was brought to such a jolting halt as I feel my prize horse stumble over a rock. Though it is quick to recover, I'm only momentarily thrown off balance. I could hear members of my procession snickered behind me. Feel a little bit embarrassed. I know it isn't really the animal's fault. A Shah is meant to give off an air of untouchable regality and command respect of all his subjects. And this incident has thrown off my image of perfection. Kill my own horse? No. Everyone makes mistakes. And I do mean it. Oh, damn it, he's been imprisoned. Oh, I have a few suggestions. The ideas will work well. Tour the grounds of Buddha. Check the offensive war opinion. In fact, it's better to check here, bulk. 14. Okay. We'll be good enough to start wars again when we return home. But we'll do that in the next episode. Another son of mine. That's child of a concubine. Keep that well in mind. Bowser, that old coot. Remember him? He's the one that I took bulk from. Who dares? That's Kabulistani throne. You yourself? Well, he is an old Zunist. And his generation of old Zunists. There's an easy way to do these days. Just give him money. That'll solve all problems now. Oh, he refused. Okay, last visit towards Merv. Travel might be a little dangerous, so careful. Acrobats jump in carnival tires. One opens his mouth to catch a ball that another throws, and the public erupts in cheers. The music soon follows. I've heard this song before. Perhaps most of them sound too similar. Even from the dies I can hear the peasants loudly singing. And dance in the fields of the wolf, wolf, wolf. A figure joins. Decides to join stealing the juggling balls. Get that dog! I could take it back with me. I like to have a dog. Nastokot, is your name. Fight a Titan and Karas, man. Leave me alone. Leave Vikram alone. You got that? Last profitable thing to do. Zunbil Regalia. A beautiful regalia set of excellent craftsmanship It contains of electrum scepter sector, pieces of lapis lazuli, fine silk ropes that have been embroidered with silk, and a large lapis lazuli cabochon necklace. Spouse will like me much, and the glory hound vassals will respect me a little more. That's another thing we should use that money for. Start repairing artifacts that is of great importance to you. Of course, you want to keep that around. Now the court artifacts. Yeah, that should be enough. Since leaving home nearly over a year ago, I've seen the highs and lows, reveled in the wind blowing through my hair, and lamented the rocks in my boots. There are so many places, so many things I've yet to see. Out there on the open road, I feel free of this stuffy castle, if only for a little while. The roads are full of pilgrims and wanderers. Perhaps it is among them I will find a peace of mind. Out here, I'm truly free. Well, I'm a traveler now, as I've done quite a bit of traveling in my day. As I am 65 years old and I'm still feeling fine. Yeah, feel at home. Done a lot of things. Changed the opinion of everybody. Okay. Defensive war is -10. Well, as a child, he could do none against me. Same for this one. Cannot form faction war against me. And all these other also-rans. Keep forgetting. By the way, there's this thing that I forget that it exists. I mean, this is mainly for stress loss of prestige. There's this place in Wakan, the Bibi Fatim hot springs. This leads to getting a chance of getting a character mod by boosting your fertility and prestige. But if you follow Muslim faith, you'll gain some piety, and get a chance of getting an even better modifier. But that's for relaxation, and it does cost quite a bit to get there. To get to there and back. Do I really want to do that? I mean, that's just a modifier thing. Yeah, I sometimes forget that the hot springs exists up there. But look at it now. Very close. Just 100 more renown, and then you got the last legacy. But there is a way to get it. And since I've been, you know, development intensive, here's another great way. Spend it on a Grand Connaught. 200 gold. And, this gives you a bit of prestige in popular opinion. But it will most certainly help with the development of the land here. As well as that tax income. I don't have any cats anymore, do I? Because cats are pretty important to me. Oh, I do. Oh, be careful when you put cats and dogs together. Well, see if you could give me another cat. 40 gold for another cat that I'm ordering. I tell you the good luck. Not feeling infirm. Anything else? Before, we close off this episode. So remember, when we get to this man, which he'll never accept, because the realm is pretty distant, and even if you like him very much, so please remember, this is what's going to be like. You'll fight this war which costs this large amount of prestige, but thankfully we have this now, as well as potential allies. I mean, he's no longer allied with Fergana, which is a good thing. And this one is from all the way over there. It was Yasani. Islamic syncretism. Yeah. Mandatory pilgrimage. And of course, last decision. Go towards antagonistic. And then when you got antagonistic, you can invade kingdom. This is how we're going to do it. This is what the next episode's going to be like. First, we declare war to conquer this duchy, though now a little less expensive. And then after that, we'll try to convince him to try to vassalize him, and maybe perhaps I'll offer him something that I'll have to think about. Spouse regent, because you're in prison, right? Well, things may get easier as long as he's still there. And, okay, so let's recap here. We fight a war against them, which will be pretty easy to fight on the battlefield, but the difficult part is conquering Bukhara, which they have tower houses and an Ark of Bukhara. So the fort level is higher than normal, so it'll take a bit longer to bring it down. And hopefully we don't have to fight a war against them if he can vassalize them. And then fight the invasion to grab this, and then one more war against the Zenzu. So maybe perhaps there will be an opportunity that which one of you is? That we look for a potential alliance to try to make sure that no, they're not allies anymore with Serdaya, so you should be alright. It's just a couple of Transoxianian wars. And then after all that, then we'll restore the Hephthalite Empire. And we'll be gaining a lot of great bonuses, such as the Renown, of course. So we hope you'll join us for that, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to be a big one, in which we hope that we don't get into wars that are too long or too costly. But since I've improved a little bit upon that, we can only hope that that we will defeat our enemies and we will win it. It's just we'll deal with the hard bit first. Easy part here, easy here. And this we're not so sure about, as they're tribal. Never underestimate the tribals, especially large tribal realms, especially of a culture that is known to be horse lords, who are also plan on becoming dryland dwellers. So we hope that people will be there for the next episode. So it's either going to be in this next episode or the one after that. Hephthalite Empire will be formed before I pass, as I'm still feeling fine, of course. Let's not get carried away here. So I think it would be best to say, wait a few months. Wait a few months for the offensive order thing to go down, because it does take a while to assemble armies, and then beat them again, and then and it again, and then one more time. Like how we did these small wars here. So, see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.